talking about the subject of now, and that is finding motivation to do something. One thing I can tell you about finding motivation for something is if you really love what you're doing, if you love what you are doing, you will find the motivation for it. It's just as simple as that. If you love what you're doing, you will find motivation to get you going. I love running. So I haven't run for a little while. It's been about 2, 3 months now. The weather in Calgary has been really tough, so um, I had to take a cool rest there. I like I like running at Fresco instead of using the treadmill. We do have a treadmill in the basement there, but it doesn't feel the same to me. And again, it's not very nail friendly. So now I just told myself, you know what? I got to go run. The body really wasn't in a place to run, but I love to run. So I found the motivation. So I started running. So as I began to run, what happened? After a little while, I got really tired, got whistling, and I'm used to that because whenever it gets really cold in Calgary, I take a rest and you start getting a little bit out of shape here and there. But I had to find that motivation to go out there and take this run. But as you run, you begin to see that it gets easier. Once you motivate yourself, it gets easier. But when you love what you're doing, you find the motivation. So you see, motivation and love for what you do go hand in hand. If you find what you love and you do it, you will find the motivation to do it. So it is very important to make sure that whatever it is that you're pursuing is not somebody else's dream. It's not somebody else's dictation of what they think is appropriate or right for you to do. You have to take that responsibility to tell yourself the truth. What is it that you really want for your life? What is it that you really love to do? A lot of people are motivated by different things, different reward. And one of those rewards is money. And for the pursuit of money, they fail to really ask themselves pertinent questions that will really get them going in the long run. In the short run, you might be motivated by money and you can start doing whatever you want to do. But you get to a point where you start losing motivation, or even if you're being rewarded financially, you start losing motivation for what it is that you do. Why? Because you are not in love with it. And on the other side of the scale is this, that you're doing what you love, but you are not getting the kind of reward, again, financially, if that's your motivation, yet. And you feel like, I love what I'm doing, but I'm not getting the kind of reward that I would rather have. What is it that I'm doing wrong? Well, that's where you have to make sure that you train yourself. If financial reward is what you want to gain from doing what you love, on how to effectively monetize your love. Because in the long run, your passion for what you do is what's going to sustain you in the difficult times of life. Because it doesn't really matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you do, there are always going to be ups and downs. And if you are doing something that you're not really in love with, what's going to happen is this. You are going to change course. Why? Because you're looking for the easy way out. But if you're doing something that you love to do, you stick with it. You have the courage to stick with it. And that is all it takes to succeed in anything. The truth is, whatever we do, somebody else is already doing it. And if you look for a mentor in the area of your love and see that they are getting the kind of reward that you are after, seek their advice. Let me tell you, and let me give you one simple secret to not making mistakes. And I will tell you this, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. A lot of people fail to understand that your mistakes are there to teach you. Your mistakes are there to let you know what you should do and you shouldn't do, or what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing. So there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Nobody actually goes after making mistakes. But the shortcut around making mistakes is this. Look for somebody that has been on the path that you are on, that have successfully gotten to the destination that you are after, and maybe even beyond the destination that you are after, and ask for their mentorship and ask for their advice. And asking for mentorship sometimes scare a lot of people. Let me tell you how to get mentors in every area of your life. Look for the expert in the field that you are interested in. Look for a book that he or she has written and read the book. In that book, you're going to find, and he or she is going to tell you the mistakes that they made in the pursuit of your success. He or she is going to tell you what to do and what not to do by just relating their stories in that book. So it's important for you to know that you're not going to make that same mistakes again, because somebody else has already made that mistake for you. So you don't have to repeat the mistake by doing the things that they have done. Why reinvent the wheel? So pick up a book and read it. So because that's what I get. I get a lot of people saying, you know what? Some people say, I don't know what I'm really passionate about. You do know what you're passionate about. And some people say, oh, I'm passionate about this, but I don't really know how to monetize it. Well, I just told you the secret. If you find somebody that is doing the same thing that you want to do and are successful at it, seek their mentorship. That could mean a phone call. Well, I don't want to scare you with that. If you can do that and introduce yourself to this mentor and say, look, I'm a great admirer of yours. I love what you do. You are just my hero. I want to be like you. You're not saying this just to, brush their ego. You're telling them how you feel about them because you are in love with what they do. And I just really want to introduce myself to you, and I want to let you know that if there's any way I can help you in the process, I just want to let you know that I'm available. And you want to give, not ask. You want to be given, not ask. Listen, if you are just looking for people to give you, some may give you. But if you keep asking, people are going to realize that you are just a taker, not a giver. So you want to give first before you ask. And sometimes you don't even ask. Just being in the environment of that individual, doing what they do, for the fact that you love what they do, you are going to be very good at it in helping them out. And in the process, you get to see, they have a VIP access to the back door of everything they do, the behind the scene of everything they do, right? So if you can do that, that would be the best thing for you. But if you can't do that, and you can't find anybody in your immediate environment that is doing what you love to do, seek mentorship again by picking up a book. Because when you read a book, somebody has poured their heart, they poured their lifetime of mistakes and lessons and their successes that has spanned years in the pages of a book. Pick it up, read it, learn from it. All right. So I just want to spend this time to just talk to a lot of you today, because I keep having this paradox discussion of, should I do what I love, or should I do something that is much more rewarding? Let me tell you, and you can do something that is much more rewarding, and it's going to reward you maybe in the short term, but after a while, because of who we are as humans and the correlation between who we are and our connectivity with purpose, we find that emptiness, even if we are well rewarded for what we do. So if we can correlate what we do with our passion and our purpose, we are always motivated to always do it. And by the way, if you do something that you love, you know what happens? You are always good at it, because you take the time to learn all the skills that you need to be able to succeed at it. You take the time to do anything that will get you better at it. So looking for what you love and doing it is the best way to get better at whatever you're doing. So if you're doing something that is not really in the line of passion for you, I would advise you, go find it. Because it doesn't matter what kind of reward you find or you get from it, you're going to always be empty without really correlating or linking that passion with the reward. So again, if you find what you love, you will always find the motivation to do it. It's really icy out here. I almost fell down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, being motivated. And I love to run, right? I love to run, and it's still icy on the ground, but I found the motivation to go out there and run today is just 2 degrees. In London, this will be the time that people will be wearing, London, England, people will be wearing jackets. But here in Canada, we're a little bit used to it. It looks like, hey, it's a summer day, but really it's a cold day. But I love what I do. I love running, and I found the motivation to go out here and run. See, let me just show you give you a little perspective of what I see in front of me here. See the ice? And just looking at this ice, it's another lesson for you. Something for you to equally learn that, you know what? When you start going on the path of life and you see other footprints on the path of life, that motivates you. So you know what? If other people can do this, I can. So my own correlation to this is, if other people have already run this path, why am I in the room, in the house, just lazing out? No, go out there and do it. That's just it for the moment. I just want you to realize that if you find what you love, you will always find the motivation to do it. So go find what you love, and you will find the motivation to do it.